Villain songs. They are good. So good, there's approximately 5 million top 10 videos on it. But is there a top 50? Now there is, I guess. Any type of media is fair game. Some brief rules though. 1. No deleted songs. 2. You must have lyrics. No instrumental only songs. 3. The song must be either by or in favor of the villain. And finally 4. It must be official. No fan songs. All songs will be in a playlist in the description. Let's go! Hey, remember when I literally just gave you the rules? Let's break them.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, so I know what you're thinking. This doesn't count because it's not sung by the villain. Well, you're wrong. There's a brief, 20-second scene with the zombies. So it totally counts. It does not totally count. This is cheating. This is cheating. But gosh dang it, with 50 entries, I'm allowed to break the rules once, right? Right? It's a very catchy song, and it recently became popular because of memes. So I feel like I just had to include it, but it's only this low because, well, it doesn't really fit the rules. You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch may be the most iconic non-Disney villain song, but it definitely doesn't follow the rules of this list, so I can't really include it. The good news though is that Dr. Seuss hates everyone and made another Grinch special specifically to terrify us all. Grinch is Gonna Get Ya isn't too memorable lyrically, it's pretty repetitive, but wow, the animation is phenomenal. I'm taking both the visuals and lyrics into account, and look at these visuals, but the repetitive lyrics lowered it down here. I don't know what they're saying.
Round with the greatest of the stairs, and it's hopeless to...
Everyone shut up, Grinch is explaining the Lord of Kirby. Motherfucker, when I said I'm including all media, I meant all media. Because I don't care if it takes you 30 hours, we're going to listen to this song, gosh dang it, Mom! Grim Grinning Ghost is a song that plays in the Haunted Mansion right at the end, about the ghosts just wanting to party and how spooky they are. It's a very fun song, it really makes you wish you were dead. Wait a second. Okay, so on the topic of ghosts, have you ever revisited something from your childhood and realized it's much, much darker than it was? For me, this came from a song from the cartoon Danny Phantom. Remember is a pretty catchy and just banging song sung by Ember McLean as she hypnotizes the world. Seems innocent enough, I guess, but then you read into the lyrics and it becomes painfully obvious that Ember became a ghost when she killed herself because her boyfriend cheated on her. Even for a show about ghosts, that's dark. It's a really good song on its own. I could actually imagine hearing this on the radio, but the surprisingly dark lyrics that will get it on this list. Mickey's House and Mouse is the most ambitious crossover of all time. Smash and Avengers wish it even had a percentage of its mastery. It's great to see all the Disney characters just hanging out, even if a lot of them, specifically the villains, are very out of character. So it's a good thing when they finally decide to take over it with It's Our House Now. Deep down, I am 7 years old on the inside, so a lot of my love for this song comes up from me freaking out when I was a child, just seeing all these characters meeting together. I was really happy to see the bad guys win. I was kind of a twisted child. I've seen Hocus Pocus a couple of times, but I legitimately cannot tell you a single thing about it. I know so many people see this as a Halloween classic, but it's just not my thing. There is one thing I remember about it though. Come Little Children is a song sung by Sarah Sanderson, where she hypnotizes a bunch of children. It's just haunting. Even after I forgot the film to the point I had to look up which of the witches sung this song is always in the back of my brain, just creeping me out. Trippy imagery is pretty common on this list. You can't get trippier than Huffalumps and Woozles. Well, you can with Pink Elephants, but that song gave me nightmares when I was a kid, so I'm not including it. This song does great with the dream motif, with the echoey song working with the abstract visuals. And unlike Pink Elephants, it actually affects the story. What a novel hecking concept, Pink Elephants! Okay, so let's break this down. On the panel meter, there's stubbing your toe, falling off the building, getting run over by a tank, the planet exploding, and then there's a Playmobil movie. It's the most generic kids film of all time. It breaks its own rules, and in general, it's just boring. However, I will give it this. It's got songs. That's not positive, it's just a thing it has. Actually though, one of the songs doesn't put me to sleep. The villain's explanation song, Give the People What They Want. It's about the main villain Maximus explaining why he does the bad things he does, and gosh dang it, it's just so heckin' catchy. Ever since I first heard this song in the film, I was just playing in my head repeatedly while watching this film. If they made the movie as good as this song, I wouldn't want to pay a visit to the Haunted Mansion, because I would be dead. This is a very dark video now that I think about it. I like Ice Age sequels. Not the fifth one, that's a big waste of time in my life, but the other three, they're fun enough. You know what else is fun? Pirate shanties. Now let's have a pirate shanty sung by Tyrion Lannister. Catchiness is really the name of the game here. That and I like the main gang button in, saying they just don't want to be here. Also, the different pirates that join along get their own little jokes and quirks, and just makes it fun to watch as well. Was it worth 50 million sequels? Yes. The Donkey Kong Country cartoon, don't click off the video yet, hear me out. The Donkey Kong Country cartoon isn't known for good music, or good animation, or good anything, but it's honestly got some jams. As much as I wanted to highlight King K. Rool's plethora of hits, Captain Scurvy has my favorite bunch of songs from this godforsaken show. But I'm gonna give this to Pirate Scorn. Scurvy gives us a rundown on his deep backstory and island lore about how his grandfather was a pirate and he had his coconut doohickey, and somehow the Kong stole it from him. Okay, the writing is on par with the rest of the show, but shut up, I like it. Well, nonsensical lyrics and pirate beat are enough to distract you from the fact that Scurvy's crew are literally just K. Rool and a Kremlin. Like, they're barely even pilot spots. However, this song is not good enough to distract you from the fact that Scurvy has crocodile nipples. The Penguins of Madagascar show is actually a pretty decent spin-off. Heck, I'd say it's better than all the movies. Throughout the show, there's this running gag that Skipper thinks everything bad that happens is done by a character named Dr. Blowhole, who's implied not to exist. It isn't until the TV movie where he found that Blowhole does actually exist, he's got some pipes. Brand New Plan is Blowhole describing his, well, brand new plan on how he wants to take over the world. The animation isn't much to speak of, but the song itself is pretty great. A lot of it has to do with they actually got Neil Patrick Harris to voice him. Definitely the best song I've heard from Killer Dolphin. Todd's Lemonade is a song by two gremlins about how cool their boss, John Cena, is, set to the tune of Major General's song from the opera The Pirates of Penzance, and is named after an overly excited captain voiced by Flapjack. I don't need to explain why this is on the list. The Miser song is basically the only reason people still remember A Year Without Santa Claus, and for a good reason. For two songs about literal polar opposite characters, the connections they make between the two while keeping the general lyrics the same is quite impressive. Definitely a fun song to hear about wintertime. Also, Snow Miser's a better brother. Sorry to disappoint all you Heat Miser fans. Tim Curry is the Sludge Monster, singing about wanting to corrupt the world. It sounds like Mad Libs, but it's real, and I'm happy. Cosmic Love is a very subtle song about the evils of humanity, and just kidding, it's a giant freaking monster singing about how greedy humans are, and how much he wants to put nature in a jar or something like that. Okay, so maybe the song suffers from a lot of the same problem as the film does, but it's not Tim Curry, so I'll allow it. When did people start hating this song? Mother Knows Best, I feel like, is a great way of showing how manipulative Mother Gothel is, while also being this grand song. The things she brings up to scare Rapunzel are all funny, but we do get to see her more vain side slip out. As when she's affectionate to Rapunzel, she talks to her hair. She even calls her her flower. I'll make sure she never leaves her house to go to a place called Corona. Wait a minute. Secret of Survival is the only thing I remember from Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. It's like Coming Little Children, but with more grumpy ghost hands. As you'll see later on, I love songs that can mix both humor and creepiness, and this song does it perfectly, with the weasel's shape-shifting being both creepy and funny, and the beat having this loud drum that overwhelms you, but also incorporating goofy sound effects. It's like a cartoon in the real world, and this is what you want from something like this. Tim Curry's back with a vengeance, and this time he's a pirate, like last time I promise. This song is about how being a pirate isn't a bad thing, and I mean, I'd join him. Granted, it's kind of lessened since he says all pirates are murderers, but he also kills his own men in the song, but it's a thought that counts. Prince Ali Reprise is like a cookie. Amazing, but way too short. Mocking the hero by twisting their own theme song against them is something I'm surprised more villain songs don't do. But again, this song is super short, like the segment. The Joker seems like a character you'd see breaking in a song all the time, but it's really rare. He's only done it a couple times, and usually they're really slow. But then there's Arkham Knight, where the writers of DC finally stopped clowning around. We're already 19 entries into this. You hackers aren't leaving now. It has an illusion of the Joker coming back to mock Batman. Because why have PTSD if it doesn't sing? Joker mocks Batman for all his failures. It's both funny and dark, which is, in my opinion, when Joker's at his best. Only problem with this is that it's visually pretty boring. They could have had the song play as you fight the Joker or something, but the gameplay is just disarming Batman as Robin, while Batman just stands there.
Menacingly!
The song is good, and Hamlet's having a lot of fun, so I can't be too mad about the missed potential. I Want to Be Like You from The Jungle Book is a massive jam. Just a great jazzy little song from my favorite childhood movies. Problem though, I don't really see King Louie as a villain, at least in this version. That's one thing the remake has over the original and why it makes this list instead. I mean, you already have the great original song, but some madman decided to add more cowbell. Christopher Walken plays Louie in this film, and while there's clearly no Louis Prima, I kind of prefer this version. It's the ironic appeal. I bursted into laughter in the theaters. I don't know if I'm including the song because I legitimately like it or because irony, but screw it, it's on the list. Is Aaron Burr from Hamilton a villain? Sure, why not? The room where it happens is about Burr singing about how he's curious about what's happening in the titular room and being upset that he wasn't invited to play Mario Kart or whatever they're doing. Throughout the song, Burr foreshadows his killing of Hamilton. And I mean, it's Hamilton. Love it or hate it, every song slaps. You motherfrickers thought I couldn't find a way to put Kirby in this video, and it was Really hard, granted, but I found a way. Like love, Kirby always finds a way. The Kirby 25th Anniversary CD is mostly just songs from the game, but there's 3 songs that add lyrics to them sung by specific characters from Kirby. One is the Apple Juice song, greatest work of art ever written, a song by Midnight, which is pretty good, and the weirdest one, Eternal Dream, sung by Sectonia of all characters. It's an opera song, which isn't expected, but it makes sense for Sectonia. The song is actually quite sad if you know the context between Sectonia and Taranzo's relationship. It's the only song on this list that doesn't have English version, though the version I'll list will have English subtitles. I give this song an I Got Depression out of 10. You see Pete's blood in this song. I don't need to explain this. The next song is Oh No, What Are We Gonna Do from VeggieTales. This is just Cheerful's list with 20 slots slapped on, I know. The song here is actually one of the first villain songs I remember hearing, which is a big reason why it's here. It's VeggieTales, so the animation is pretty bad, like what's up with these angles, but the music is bouncy and the ideas the scallions give to get rid of Daniel are super creative, and forget something at more ridiculous, and even a little dark, like beating him up, beating him to a crocodile, worst of all, giving him jelly donuts, then taking them all back. These guys might be the most evil villain on this list. And if you close your eyes... Okay, so now what? Do I just repeat the previous segment over again? I mean, it's definitely better. This is hands down the best song in the musical. Like, I may be a Christian, but this is an absolute banger song about killing our Lord and Savior. I'm going to heck, aren't I? Like the best villain songs, it has an ominous feel, but it's also something you can just see yourself singing along to once in a while. It also has Homer Simpson.
Gentleman.
Unpopular opinion, I think. I like Pocahontas. Unpopular opinion, I know. I also like Savages. Yes, it's super on the nose, but the parallels the song shows between the colonizers and natives is very well done, and Pocahontas coming in makes a good count of both, but Ratcliffe takes the center stage, so it counts as a villain song. Honestly, this song alone makes Ratcliffe, in my opinion, a good villain. He's just not a greedy dude. He's a genuine psychopath. Look at his eyes when he says kill them. This shot, though, will always be hilarious to me. Cuphead is one of the greatest soundtracks in gaming, and Die House easily was one of its best. It's Cuphead, so of course it's a jazzy jazz song of jazz. King Dice's voice actor, who fun fact is actually a woman, gives a great performance here. It's honestly kind of unnecessary, this really could have just been said in text, but I'm so happy they made this song. Only downside is this song only plays when you go in between worlds while collecting all the contracts. Not only could you beat the game without hearing it, the visuals are kind of bland, which seeing this as Cuphead is a huge shame. If this played during King Dice's boss fight, this would be much higher. People don't seem to talk about Wonder Over Yonder a lot, but that's pretty sad. It was kind of buried by Gravity Falls, which I can understand, but this show is really good. And its music is really great too. Like, I'm the bad guy. Listen, it's great to have a song that foreshadows the rest of the plot or dives deep into a character's psyche. Other times, you want a song where the villains can just gloat about how evil they are. And this song delivers. Dominator really hits all the high points here, beating up the main characters, mocking the other villains in the show, destroying a planet just because she can, having this scene, which is the only reason people talk about this show, which is sad because it's really good, but it shows it's another victim of the horny, but who cares, the song slaps, so I know it! Easily the best song with the words bad guy in the title. Fairy Odd Parents very rarely has songs, but when they do it, they're always great. Give Me the Wand is Norm Genie's performance on Fairy Idol. He gets my vote. It's catchy, it's funny, and of course you have Norm trying to kill Joker throughout the song, so what's not to love? Also, Cosmo comes in halfway through the song sounding like singer Diana DeArno, who I know nothing about outside of this one song. I mean, for stuff as good as this, I definitely wish to hear more. You get it, because this is a song about a genie and the Grant Wish. You know, I realize there's a lot of Nickelodeon songs on this list. And I mean, you can't talk about Nickelodeon without talking about SpongeBob. And I've also talked about musicals a lot, so let's talk about the objective best musical. Plankton rapping sounds like the most cursed thing ever, but somehow it works? Honestly, given that his mind control thing, I'm surprised Penny Bottom disagreed with him. He convinced me entirely to join his submarine death. He may only got one cell, but that cell is all talent. And 99% hot gas. I don't know how to start this statement, guys. I've written 30 of these. Give me a break. Explain Canada. It's kind of hard to describe anything that comes out of South Park, but I mean, the song's name kind of explains everything. It's about the parents blaming this made-up place called Canada? Canada. I think it's pronounced Canada. It's South Park. It's not much to say besides that. It's good. So while me seeing what the song comes from isn't a requirement, it certainly helps. That's why a lot of really good songs didn't make the list. I just don't know the context. So you have to be really good to make this list if I haven't seen you, and Meant to Be Yours from Heathers is really that good. You know, while I wish I was bigger on this website, I am glad at points like this that I'm not bigger, because it's mostly just my friends watching this, and they know me, because I talk about child murder a lot, and if this was just like random people, a lot of random people watching me, they have to call the police. Like I said before, I haven't seen this musical, but all I need to know is in the song. Dark comedy is something that's pretty tricky to do, but actually hilarious and done right, and that's this song. JD's sanity slippage is shown greatly here, and the super dark subject matter is contrasted greatly with the upbeat music and lines. 1 minute, JD is talking about killing every student in school, then maybe he's talking about making delicious hot snows. Watch this musical or something, I don't know. Speaking of musicals with the psychopath falling into insanity, Epiphany is that. Something I love about this song is in the middle part where Todd is at his most insane. It's silent when he speaks, it's only after he talks when the music comes in. This really shows his insanity. Like the music's all in his head or it's like a jump scare. Also, I don't know why, but I love the laugh he gives. This is the second time I've talked about Prince of Egypt. It's like the perfect movie. Go watch Prince of Egypt. Playing with Big Boys either seems to be everyone's favorite or least favorite song in the film. I'm not sure it's my favorite. It's definitely the song I've listened to the most. I honestly thought the High Priests were kind of pointless in the beginning of the movie, but this song completely justifies them. It really takes these two gag characters and makes them a genuine threat, while doing some clever things with their magic, applying it to be a con. Like when they replace the staff with snakes, this is bright light, everyone looks away, heavily suggesting that they swap them out. Overall, a fantastic song. Only reason it's not higher is because of that super long intro with them naming all the Egyptian gods. I usually skip that part. The single hardest choice on this list was picking which of GLaDOS' songs make it on. Both are fantastic. If it wasn't for my one per series rule, they'd both be on here. But if I had to pick one, I'm going with Still Alive. GLaDOS' passive aggressiveness is on full force here. I could go over every single line without ruining the joke. It's just an absolutely hilarious song. Maybe one day we'll get a third game to complete the trilogy. Please. Friends on the Other Side is pretty much the only thing people talk about in Princess and the Frog. As much as I love this film, I can't blame the internet. Keith David does an amazing job being both a smooth talker and genuinely threatening here, and in the end it's an absolute feast for the eyes with these weird colors and creatures appearing. The first half also had a lot of fun foreshadowing, like Naveen appearing on a lily pad or Dr. Facilier saying hop from place to place. It's actually supposed to show that Dr. Facilier is a good guy secretly, and he's trying to help out and no, I can't do this, this sucks. The next song on this list is Other Friends from the Steven Universe movie. I tried to think of a joke here because Other Friends and Friends on the Other Side is like kind of similar sounding, but I couldn't think of a joke here, so kill me! The song was the first time we see Spinell in the entire series, and by God, she made a good impression. Not only does she take out all four main characters, we get this amazing old school jazzy song out of it, which goes perfectly with her stretchy rubber hose design. Another big reason why I love this song is because it actually got me into Steven Universe. Popped up my recommendation one day, listened to it over and over again, and I finally broke down and watched the entire show. I mean, some people on the internet might see this as a bad thing, but I enjoy my time. The only reason it's not higher is because of how short it is, clocking in at around a minute if you exclude the part with the gems talk. Besides that, it's pretty banging. You know, I lay awake at night thinking of a lot of things. Am I truly loved? Will anyone care about me if I don't wake up? What will happen tomorrow? And most importantly, if Oogie Boogie's made out of bugs, why is there a snake in him too? What's there to say that hasn't been said about Oogie Boogie song? I love the blacklight look, different traps, Oogie dancing with Santa. It's no wonder the song is so highly regarded. Like I said with I'm the Bad Guy, I love the songs where it's just bad guys singing how evil they are. You know what else I love? Vincent Price. The mixing of humor and creepiness is something I've praised a lot of songs for, and this is no exception. The song is so upbeat, but Radigan and his men are talking about killing orphans. Again guys, it's just a coincidence, I promise. And he even murders his own henchman halfway through the song just because they call him a rat, which like, dude, your name is Radigan. Something I also love about Radigan is how he's constantly able to change emotions on a dime. Also shout out to this one scene where he's suddenly playing a harp, then immediately turns red with evilness. You know, I've noticed, a lot of villains change color when they embrace their evilness. My conclusion? Every villain is a cuttlefish. This will be on the test. Anastasia is a pretty okay movie, all things considered, but this song alone justifies its existence. The beat is super threatening while also fun. Jim Cummings does a great job taking over for Christopher Lloyd, and okay, the bar talk and the bug parts aren't funny and are pretty unnecessary, but it doesn't ruin the song for me. I do love that one bug with the deep voice though.
Doom.
He's shaped like a friend. Almost every villain song is sung before the villain succeeds. I mean, it's understandable. The villain usually dies before they complete their goals, but it would be interesting to see a bad guy go about how evil they are after ruling the world. And only one villain evil enough to do that.
Doofenshmirtz, quality, bratwurst.
Looks to me deceiving. Charmed Life is sung by an alternate dimension Dr. Doofenshmirtz as he gloats about ruling the world. It's fun to see all the egotistical changes Doof makes, while also showing how he's far eviler than his original form. But something I need to point out is simply the name. Doof is bragging about having a great life through being ruler. If you know anything about Phineas and Ferb, you know Doof has had anything but a charmed life. That really says a lot about how evil this guy truly is. Poor Unfortunate Souls is one of my absolute favorites. The details of the poor unfortunate souls who got cooked over by Ursula, just looking on in horror as Ariel signs away her soul, Ursula killing 5 sea creatures during the song, just Ursula directly lying to Ariel's face. It's a quite dark song. And of course you have a great ending where all heck breaks loose. And don't forget the importance of body language! Also, Hidden Mickey. Yet another song from my favorite villains. Gaston is a song that is good. You've all heard this song before, so I don't need to explain anything. So I won't.
And the rest is all the rest.
You motherfuckers thought I was joking in my quarantine video when I said Glom Tales was the greatest song of all time. Well, I was. It's only the 7th greatest song ever made. Like Prince Ali Reprise, it's yet another song where the bad guy hijacks some hero song. Hands down the funniest song on this list. Glom Tales is basically just Glom Gold fumbling through a song. He tries different forms of animation, an obvious screen, fourth wall breaking, just a whole bunch of things that I love. The song was made for me. It is unironically better than the original. I will not hear otherwise. Okay, so on this Discord server I'm in, someone asked what the best Disney song is, and I replied Shiny, and then everyone immediately hammered into me for saying that. I'm putting it as high as a power move. A lot of people say this song stops the movie. I disagree. Instead, Tamatoa takes over this movie. He makes it his own. Not to mention you have that great hypnotic animation, and Tamatoa just tearing into Maui both lyrically and literally. I definitely give it a glowing review.
Now listen closely.
I don't need to explain anything to you guys here. Poor Unfortunate Souls may slap, but did it literally extend the life of a person? I don't think so. And I mean, come on. I said catchy like 50 times throughout this video, but there's no other word to describe this. It may be number 5 on this list, but it's number 1 in all of our hearts. What's up, Plant Gang? Time to talk about Audrey 2. Feed Me is great, but clearly Mean Green Mother is the superior song. Again, I love songs where the villain just slams into the hero, and throughout the entire song, Audrey 2 is destroying the room, shooting at Seymour, mocking him, and she literally creates plant backup singers just to hammer it in. What a legend. Not to mention, you have the Audrey 2 puppet itself, one of the absolute best effects of all time. If you told me that the filmmakers actually found a real singing plant to hire for this movie, I'd believe you. Be Prepared, arguably the most well-known villain song of all time, and it deserves all the attention. The visuals are striking, the lyrics are memorable, and it sets Scar's plan up perfectly. Also, while I'm sure most people know about this, here's a fun fact. Jeremy Irons, the voice of Scar, blew out his voice halfway through the song and had to be replaced by Jim Cummings, making it Cummings' 3rd appearance on this list. You can't even tell the difference. It's really admirable. Now there's more I could say. It's one of the most beloved Disney songs for a reason. Nothing can take away from that. No, we don't mention that! Okay, so I've made some pretty controversial choices for this list, but nothing will be more controversial than this. Okay, please hear me out for commenting. I know putting this anywhere but number 1 on a villain song list is ironically a sin against God, but I do have my reasons. Before I talk about that though, obviously this song is basically perfection. Tony J gives his absolute all to his performance. The song is one of the most haunting things of all time. Every single frame of the song will be hung on a wall. The song starts with Frollo in a church and everything is calm, but as it goes deeper and deeper, he goes into darker places until he's literally at a fireplace consumed by fire, as if the gates of the underworld itself come to swallow him whole. This song is quite possibly one of the best things Disney's ever put in one of their films. It is also quite possibly the most overrated song of all time. Look, don't get me wrong, it's fantastic. It wouldn't be number 2 if it wasn't. But I'm just so tired of seeing this song everywhere I go. People talk about it more than the film itself. It tops every single villain song list like clockwork. And I'm sorry, but as someone who makes countdowns, my thought process is if you don't have a unique opinion or viewpoint, why make the video at all? Okay. I know it's popular. It's a really weak reason to stick it at number 2 when some people will say it deserves number 1. But that's not the only reason I'm putting it at number 2. The biggest reason is simply there is one song, only one, better than it. What's that? Let's get into it. Okay, so I listened to so many songs while making this list. Some I knew beforehand, some I didn't. Some were great, some weren't. But one thing stuck out to me while listening to every single one of these villain songs. To make a good villain song, you don't need a villain. You need a hero.
Hit it!
Okay, before I talk about this song, let's cover this. Does it even qualify for the list? Well, it doesn't break any of my rules, does it? Oh, but it's a cover. Okay, and I don't see a no cover rule. Do you? It's 100% eligible. Now that that's all sorted, where do I begin? That this is the greatest cover of all time? This song syncs up perfectly with everything? That this song alone makes you want to root for the villain? That this is no memeing the single greatest scene in film history? Listen, we've had some absolutely amazing songs on here, but they all pale in comparison to the masterfulness of this song. If I made a tier list of all these, it would immediately go to S tier, while the rest would go into F, because it doesn't even deserve to be near it. It is that good. I'm saying this right now. Shrek 2 would not be the movie it is without this one song. It is absolutely perfection. There's not a single thing wrong with it. I will not hear otherwise. If this video gets a million views, I will make another video where I cover each and every one of these songs. Peace.